in order to build this patio right, we have to remove 7 inches of this material, take it out of here, get rid of the old brick, and then bring in all the new material. Now, rather than trying to fit everything in and out through this little gate, I want to take out this one section of fence. So I'm going to dig behind the post and loosen that so I can pull it back. If you'd unscrew that one section.
Sure.
Let me know when you get that out.
Okay, all set.
All right, I'm going to slide it to me. Okay, walk right in with it. Right down, and we'll lean it against the other one. Well, Ann, the good news is we have great access now. The bad news is the neighbor's driveway, where we have all our new material, is 5 feet higher than our patio area, and we can't get a wheelbarrow up and down there. So I brought my crew with me, and we brought a conveyor belt. Now, this conveyor belt, we're going to take and put all the brick and material in the hopper, and it's going to run it right up.
Where's it going to go?
Right into the truck so we can take it away.
That's great.
All right, Ann, that brick carrier helps you carry 10 bricks at a time. Just bring them over to me, and I'll feed the conveyor. You dump them right there. Now the hard part, removing 7 inches of this unusable material. And the 3 or 4 inches of sand on the top are a piece of cake. Now we're starting to get into clay. Look, there's brick, there's wood, pieces of metal. This was really a dumping ground. This is a mess, and it's hard to get out. So I'm going to loosen it up by using a pickaxe.
Great.
Now you can start taking some of that out. And let me show you what I've done over at the stairs.
Okay.
The first thing I did is I measured the riser on your stairs. Now it's consistently 6 3/4 all the way down. So I set a string line that's attached to 2 posts, one here and one way down on the left-hand side of the patio. This string line runs parallel to the stairs, but it's also set at a height so that when I put the pavers in, this riser will also be 6 3/4.
Great.
Okay. Now, off of my baseline, I wanted to put in another sideline, which is going to be the edge of the patio here. But this sideline has to be set at a 90-degree angle to the baseline. So I did that using the Pythagorean theorem.
Okay.
Basically, we call it the 3-4-5. It's very simple for the landscapers, especially me. So what we're going to do is we measure out 3 feet from here, and I put a mark on the line for you there.
Yeah.
Come over here, and we're going to measure 4 feet. We have a 4-foot mark here.
Yeah.
All right, go back to your original mark. Now, if I pull the tape in between those lines, I have 5 feet. 3, 4, 5. I know I'm at a right angle to that first baseline.
Okay, I understand that, but why are there 2 sidelines?
Well, the first line is level. If I set the pavers there, the water would just sit on the patio. It wouldn't go anywhere. It's all about pitch on a patio, getting the water to run off. So for 9 feet, I am going to drop or pitch 1/8 of an inch per foot. So I am now 1 1/8 inches below the level line, ensuring that all the water will run away from the house.
Great.
Before we add any of our new base material, we run the plate compactor over the subgrade. And let me show you our new base material. This is called graded base. It goes from 3/4 inch stone down to stone dust.
And what does that do for us?
When that's compacted down with a plate compactor, it gets hard as a rock. It'll give us a level patio for a long period of time.
Great.
Now, the beauty of the conveyor belt is we've reversed it. So instead of taking material out, we're now using it to bring the material into the courtyard. So what I'm going to do is dump this over here. If you grab a rake, I want you to spread this about 2 inches thick, and then we'll run the plate compactor over.
Okay.
Just when you're moving material,
Yep.
you want to hold it like that, move a lot, but you're not doing that here. You just put it at probably like a 45-degree angle. All you're trying to do is make it level at a couple inches thick, and if you ever want to check, these teeth are about 1 inch apart. So that'll
sneaky.
Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Now, areas we can't get the plate compactor into, we use a hand compactor to make sure that that area is not going to settle down on you.
Okay.
Now, what we're standing on literally is 4 inches of graded base. We took and put it in 2 inches at a time and compacted it with a plate compactor. If you came in and poured in the 4 inches of graded base and tried to compact that, it wouldn't compact 100%. You'd end up with puddles in your patio.
Okay.
The next step was to put in a string line. This string line starts at our baseline, and it's the same height, which is 6 3/4 inches below the top of the step. Runs across the patio all the way over to our back line. Now, this is here because I wanted the graded base to be exactly 3 inches below the string line. That allows for an inch of sand we're going to be putting in.
Why sand?
Well, sand is a great setting bed for the brick, and also if any water wicks through, it'll take it right out of the patio. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put in a screed rail right underneath this line. We're going to set it in sand, and that's what Armando and Fred are doing over here. If you look, they've got this rail down in the sand exactly 2 inches down. But if you look at our paver set in stands proud about 3/8 of an inch, a little higher than the line. But what we're going to do is spread sand all through this area, lay the whole patio in. When the whole patio's in, we're going to take and run the compactor over it. And when we do, this brick is going to settle down so that it's exactly at the height of the string line.
Perfect.
Let's get some more sand in here. Fill this whole thing. We're going to pull the screed along the rails and level the sand. Make sure you're on that rail. We're going to go over it again. This is just the first pass, getting it close. Okay, much better. All right, now we have too much against it, so just throw it. You can throw it to your left. This is the one that counts. Okay, we got to go back. See how I have a hole there?
Yeah.
There's a depression. It's lower than the screed. That means if we put a paver on top of that, we'd have a depression in our patio. So what I want to do is back up. I'm going to put a little more sand in. Let's run over that again, all right?
Okay.
Beautiful. This step is super important. This is going to determine how your pavers sit. So we're going to take our time, get this right, putting the pavers down. That's going to go quick. I'm going to take the screed rail out, and I'm going to fill that in with sand, but I'm just going to lift up. You reach down and get it down there. You got it?
Got it.
Okay. Slide it. Okay. I'll take it. We're good to go. Okay, what we're using today are concrete pavers. The great thing about them is they're all the same. They're all uniform. The same length, the same thickness, the same height. It works out perfectly for us laying them. And on the side is this little ridge. When they go together, gives us the perfect spacing.
Okay.
So we're going to start with what's called a header course. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to go right to my 90-degree corner, and there's my first paver in place. Now, the trick to pavers is not to drag them in the sand. What you want to do is click it and drop them in place.
Okay.
You want to bring over some more?
Sure.
Perfect. All right, come on over here. I'm taking, set that right next to the one I just dropped in. Good. Now hold your fingers right to the side of it and just drop it in. There you go. Perfect. What we do to access the other side of the patio without disturbing our sand setting bed is to put a plank across the patio but above the sand so we don't disturb it. Okay, we have our header course in place. We're going to start our pattern. Our pattern is called running bond. It starts out with a whole brick running all the way down. Put one right in there for me. Okay, now my next joint is going to span this like this. I'm going to set it in place, and we'll come back later and cut a piece in. All right, I'm going to come across that joint, and we'll keep working our way down. Now I want you to make sure that you put the top of the brick up, and that's the one with the chamfered edges on it, and usually it has some silica on top of it from the release of the mold.
Okay.
That way it'll look perfect. We better get moving. Looks like we might get some rain. Now the back edge of the patio receives the same header treatment as we did at the front end, so it'll look the same.
Great. It'd be perfect for a planting bed.
Now with a diamond blade saw, I cut the pavers in half so they would fit in our openings. Well, it started out as a bright sunny morning, turned into an afternoon of thunderstorms. The patio is only as good as its base. If this sand gets squishy, these bricks are going to settle and you're going to have puddles all over the place. Fortunately, last night I watched the weather report and I bought plenty of blue tops.
Roger, this looks great.
Yeah, it's really coming along. But without these tops, we would have been sunk. Now, one thing I need to point out to you, your fence is not parallel to your house or to the edge of the pavers. So what I did to keep the bed from getting too big is I stepped the pavers out a little bit, and that'll keep the bed about the same size.
Great.
Now, the next step is to put in edging. This is rigid plastic edging, has holes in the top of it, and a lip that will go underneath the brick. Now, I cut this one to size. What we're going to do is just take it, slide it underneath. What I want you to do is take and drive one of those spikes down in. Hold on, I'm not in all the way. All right, good, drive it in there. Now, those are not galvanized spikes, and the great thing about them is they rust, and when they rust, they make it harder to pull out of the ground.
Great.
So take and work your way right down every hole for me, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dan, the next step is to spread about a ½ an inch of sand all over the patio, because we're going to spread it down in the joints and lock the pavers into place. All right, on this, I want you to use the back side of the rake just to spread that ½ an inch of sand. I'm going to dump some more for you right by your feet, all right?
Okay.
Using the plate compactor, we're going to vibrate the sand that we put on the surface so it goes down into the joints of the pavers and locks them in place. Now, that ½ inch of sand we put on the surface will protect the pavers. Also, we're going to run the vibrator at low speed so there's no damage to the pavers. Now we sweep off the sand and we'll have a brand new patio. Well, what do you think?
I think it looks great. I never could have done this without you, Roger.
I think we made a good team today. Let's get it done before the heavy stuff comes.